Jurassic World Rebirth is the latest installment to the Jurassic Park franchise, directed by Gareth Edwards and starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. And hey everyone, my name is Danny, welcome to Jones Vibes. I just got out of Jurassic World Rebirth, a film that I had medium expectations for. And let me tell you what, there's actually no way to expect what this movie actually is. But that is what I am here for, that's what we're here to talk about. This is my out-of-theater reaction as well as my spoiler-free review, so let's dive in. The synopsis reads, Zora Bennett leads a team of skilled operatives to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. Their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to mankind. As the top-secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon make a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. And just to set the stage here a little bit, all that I personally wanted out of this film, just going in, I just wanted to see the Jurassic World or the Jurassic Park franchise go back to its roots again. And after seeing this movie, I can confirm that it does not do that. It instead chooses family adventure over horror at every turn, and unfortunately decides to play it safe where it could have been bold. I very much get the feeling like Gareth Edwards stepped in with a very specific vision, and he started to make the movie, and then the studio stepped in and was like, hey Gareth, let's do everything that you're doing, but without the gore and extra fluff. And that honestly pissed me off a lot, because there is such a good premise within this movie. Like, when you watch it, there is something good in there. There's something good that could be pieced together. But what you get, the final product, is just a mess. You can feel, I dare say, like the movie oozes, that the studio was just so much more concerned about their return on investment than ever making anything that resembles art. And the thing that they don't understand is making good art attracts repeat viewers, right? And so, like, had this movie been really good, I would have wanted to go again and again and again. But because it was what it was, I never want to watch it again. But let's break it down, because that's what we're here to do. I want to start with the cast here. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. I thought both of them were fantastic in this movie. Really zero complaints aside from some of the dialogue being just poorly written, I guess I would say. But that's the thing about star power when you add people like this. They were able to do what they could with the script, and at the end of the day, I put none of the blame of, like my feelings about this movie, I put none of the blame on them. However, another member of the cast, Jonathan Bailey, was somebody that a lot of people have been talking about, just at least leading up to this movie. And I saw him in Wicked. That was kind of my introduction to him as an actor, and I liked him in Wicked, but he was not meant for this role. He was not meant for this movie whatsoever. To me, his character was really awkward, and it was just like a strange play on Alan Grant, and it just didn't work. He was overacting, if that makes sense. Like, it felt like, the reason I liked him in Wicked is because he's kind of this theater guy. He's flamboyant, he's doing all this stuff, and you're like, oh wow, that kind of fits this tone. But it felt like he was just trying too hard to embody this character that I don't even know if the creators of this movie knew what this character was. But then you notice, like, it's not just them. There are a lot of other members to this cast. There are a lot of people in this movie. And so when it first starts off and you see all of these people, you're like, body count. And I did like kind of the flow of things for maybe the first like 30% of this movie. Things were very intimate, and a lot of the characters were in the same place. So the camera was constantly just moving from person to person. And I enjoy that more than, say, what happened in a lot of the Jurassic World movies. A lot of these big blockbusters where things get so separated eventually that you're just going from this to this to this to that, and things get very convoluted very quickly. But unfortunately, this movie ends up heading in that direction, which was a disappointment. And that's when I felt myself checking out. At a certain point, the story just completely stops helping these characters and these actors out, and everything starts to feel all over the place and extremely clunky. But all in all, besides JB, besides Jonathan Bailey, I wouldn't say that I disliked any of the cast members or any of the characters. I think some of the writing could have been better for a lot of them. There was a lot of stuff that just didn't really feel too fleshed out. But at the core of this thing, I have three main problems, and I'll start with the first one here. It's just the look of this film. This was, without a doubt, the cleanest looking Jurassic Park movie that's ever been made, and that's not a good thing. Like, Jurassic Park, at least the first three films, they pride themselves on being dirty and gritty. It's rainy, it's muddy, people have stuff all over their faces, people have dirt all over their faces, people are crying and there's like snot dripping down their face. Like, it's not a perfect thing to look at whatsoever, and the vibe is just that, because you want to be immersed in this. You want to feel like you're there. This is a story that's real and raw about people, human beings just like us, that are placed on this island with these things that existed millions of years ago. It's a story that's out of time. time, and the only way to make that make sense to an audience member is to give things a very realistic look. And this movie didn't need to look exactly like that. It's great to get creative and do your own thing, but what ends up happening in this film is it ends up looking more like a Michael Bay film than a Jurassic Park film, or a Godzilla vs. Kong film than a Jurassic Park film. There's so much CGI going on in a lot of the sequences where the entire backlight of the screen is just green screen. It didn't do a good job at immersing me in this thing at all, and that's what I need from this franchise. That's what we need as the audience from this franchise. I need, at the very least, to feel like I'm on this island with these people and being scared as hell of these dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the point of the film. And I want to pair in something with this that I was thinking about as I was watching it, like the whole being clean thing, along with the family adventure thing that I was talking about earlier, because like something that makes the original Jurassic Park or even Lost World so special, like in the first Jurassic Park, you have a guy that runs into an outhouse and a T-Rex chomps down on the outhouse and rips him apart, and you're like, oh my gosh. Or then you have Newman getting into the car and the thing sprays whatever ink all over his face, and it's terrifying. Like, it's a crazy sequence. Or in the Lost World, like, sorry to go through a million of these, but you got the guy in the cave that gets the snake in his shirt and he's like, ah, and he runs out and the waterfall turns red because the T-Rex picks him up and everybody hears him getting chomped on and eaten. It's just like, it's disgusting. That's the point of these movies. The point of these movies is the guy getting attacked by all the little dinosaurs that eat him in the little river. You know what I mean? Like, this is a scary franchise. You're supposed to be afraid. And this film has none of that. The family adventure thing comes into play in this film where there are people that get eaten in this thing. You see several people get eaten, but do you though? There's no blood on the dinosaur. All you see is somebody just kind of get gobbled up, and that's what pisses me off the most. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about playing it safe and catering to this family adventure vibe that the audience is watching, because you're like, oh no, that guy got eaten. There's no stakes though. Did he get eaten? Like, there's nothing that's taking you out of it going, oh my gosh, that's terrifying. Like, that guy just got ripped in half. And I'm not saying I need like an all-out bloodbath from these movies, but when you have the nostalgia baked in already and they've already set a precedent in the first few of these movies from what we've already seen, like, why not go there in these later ones? Why does everything have to be dialed back? And when you calculate all this information and you do the equation, all it is just a studio trying to make sure that you're not pushing anybody away. You're trying to make sure that some suburban person is like, no, it actually wasn't that bloody. You can take the kids. But moving on from that, the second thing would have to be the score. The best parts of the music in this film are the John Williams numbers. You have the John Williams theme playing a couple different times and you're like, oh wow, I'm back in Jurassic Park. But everything else does not feel like Jurassic Park. And as a musician myself, like, I feel like I can confidently say I think it was just bad. And I'm sorry to whoever composed it. I didn't even take the time to look it up because truly I was so incredibly disappointed with how it sounded. It just sounded silly. And if the score isn't working for the movie, then everything's going to feel off. I didn't expect it to be silly at all. That really caught me off guard, especially with this film that was sort of being touted as a return to form, a film that was going to lean into the horror elements. And I don't know if anybody from the movie actually said that, and maybe that was just online discourse and that's kind of how I heard about that, but that did get into my head. And so I went into it thinking, okay, cool, this is going to be like a new scary Jurassic Park that's not going to feel like the Jurassic World movies that we just got. But unfortunately, it was very, very silly. But the final thing, and this is the biggest thing in a movie that is about terrifying dinosaurs, why in the world do we keep having to make these freaking dinosaurs genetically modified? Like, it's just so dumb at this point and overused. Like, it's not working for the franchise. Within the plot of the movie, these things are genetically modified, and that's going too far. And here in the real world, with these movies, it's gone too far. We just want to go to the movie theater and watch some nostalgia bait for once. I mean, who cares? Like, I'll say it. I want to just see a T-Rex and Velociraptor again, because that's what was so great about the movies originally. I don't need to see the freaking Rancor. Like, I thought a Rancor was in Star Wars. I don't need to see this freaking model. It's like, oh no, there's a Velociraptor, but it's a pterodactyl Velociraptor. Oh no, it's like so dumb, dude. We grew up on the T-Rex and the Velociraptor and just like these the Brachiosaurus, but a Brachiosaurus that actually has a regular tail. Like, the entire movie was filled with these oh no moments where it was just like, what's gonna be the next craziest thing they can do? And I just wanted simplicity, personally. You know what I mean? This is just my opinion at the end of the day. And I will say there is a T-Rex in this film, so you don't have to go in expecting that you're not going to see a T-Rex. You do see a T-Rex. There is an iconic roar that happens in this film, and that was the one time throughout this movie that I truly felt something. I felt like I was watching a Jurassic Park movie, because that's what I'm there for. I'm there for these iconic moments. The T-Rex roaring in the original and the banner dropping is such an iconic moment. It lives rent-free in all of our heads, and I think a lot of us, you know, going to the movie theater is an escape, and you just want to feel something like that again. But I think all in all, this was just a big misstep by the studio. It was an overreach by the studio. That's at least how it felt to me. Maybe that's not the case, but just as a humble viewer, that's what it appeared to be for me. But as always, my friends, I do want to give my Jones Vibes star rating, and I'm giving Jurassic World Rebirth 2.5 out of 5 stars, and I don't even know if it deserves it. You know, I think I'm going to say something pretty bold here. After watching this movie, I don't know if I ever want to see Jurassic Park attempted again. That's a bit heartbreaking to say, I know, but if they're going to keep doing them like this, maybe it's just not for me anymore, but it could be for you. Leave me all your thoughts down below, but more than anything, my friends, I hope you're keeping up the good vibes. I will see you in the next video. Peace!